Welcome to this week's edition of Breeding to Win. What fantastic and thrilling racing we experienced at Turffontein yesterday. So let's get straight into it and bring you the highlights package of the G-Bets Summer Cup.
The 1160-meter marker. One a bit slow to begin was Seneca Falls is on the outside. Comaneci leads from Eskimo Kisses with 100 meters to go. Comaneci, it's going to be a perfect 10 for Comaneci. Beats Eskimo Kisses. Seneca Falls third, and fourth will go to Counting Summer Cup Day. Well done to winning jockey. First bipod here, 1160 meters, and they jump away with Duke of Swing. Slightly slow to begin, losing two. Is clear here, going into the final 100 meters, and it's been a breathtaking performance from Mythical Bolt. Won by 3 lengths. Second to Sia, Poiki third, William Henley, then Duke of Swing, and 3 Dog Night. Completes the lineup. Opening leg of the Summer Cup place accumulator at Turffontein, and they dispatched from the 1,000 meter marker. Great Sharker was slide warrior. Great Sharker continuing to roll. On the outside is Purple Diamond. Great Sharker from Purple Diamond inside the last 50. Great Sharker and Purple Diamond. Here it comes.
Gates open, and they're racing away. Give Me a Wave walks out the stalls. He lost about 4 lengths. Siders against the grain, and then comes Viking Trail. Bold Vision under attack now. Cordillera towards the outsiders, running on strongly. Cordillera picks it up with Viking Trail at the inside, but Cordillera won it. Combination of owner Chris Van Niekerk and trainer Sean Tarry are having.
Make a bit of an exciting runner today.
Now there's a horse that I give a little bit of an each way chance to, number 5 Champagne Haze.
Ready and off and sprinting. Image Award was slow to begin. Kissable with that inside. Uro, Kissable down the centre, and on the outside is Skippers. Skippers going strongly inside the final 100, and Skippers wins the Magnolia by 3.5. Uro second, third to Kissable, and Pretty Penny ran fourth.
Up to lead the filly in, but let's hand over to Nico Kritsiotis to take them into the winner's enclosure with this Daughter of Var Shippers.
Settling in, and away they go. Africa Rising didn't get the best of starts over there. Romy's Boy hits the frontier. Romy's Boy running on strongly is Africa Rising. Africa Rising blowing them away here. Africa Rising won the Merchants from Romy's Boy. Captain.
In the winner's enclosure, here's Africa Rising. He's going to go round because I think that
We'll know in 2 minutes' time. The G-Bet Scouting Summer Cup field are racing away from the 2,000 meters mark, and a great roar to go with it. And TO WIN gave away 3 lengths. Cash Time broke out well. Secret Potion, Fort Ember goes on the attack. Then further back we find Arctica in the orange and green colours. Dawn Assault just behind the pace, and the pace is good. Then comes Tilbury Fort taking the pieces in 7th place, and only about 6 lengths off the leader. Liege on the improve as well. That now races midfield just ahead of Coral Fever. Then comes Sabina's Dynasty against the fence in the green and black colours. Roy Had Enough was further back. Here's Cascapedia. She must be racing about 4 or 5 lengths off the leader. Then we go further back to Like a Panther. That's in the blue, red and white colours and gives the leaders about 10 lengths start. Tandava was next. Kilrain out after those. Noble Secret towards the rear. And then comes TO WIN racing at the back of the field as they make their way down the side of the course in the Summer Cup. And Fort Ember is the one in front. She's got the call by a length. Dawn Assault went up to race second. Then comes Cash Time. He's perfectly placed at the rail third. Arctica fourth, and here's Cascapedia. Yellow sleeves and cap in 5th place, and she's also neatly positioned. Arctica lost a few places after jumping out quite well. Taking the piece was next. Then comes Liege, Coral Fever. After them to Tandava. Sabina's Dynasty against the inside. Out after those is Tilbury Fort. Social Order, Like a Panther. Kilrain has got about 10 to make up. Roy Had Enough, TO WIN, and Noble Secret past the 600. In front now, Dawn Assault. Cash Time right there. Cascapedia up the inside is getting serious. Fort Ember tries to stay on. Arctica towards the outside. Secret Potion. Coral Fever's warming up. Like a Panther tries to get into it as well. 300 meters left to go. Dawn Assault. Cascapedia up the inside. Then comes Arctica. Coral Fever's getting into the race. Arctica just the leader. Dawn Assault. Cascapedia. Then comes Coral Fever. Coral Fever to the outside. Look at him go. Tilbury Fort is right in there. Coral Fever. Tilbury Fort. It's Tilbury Fort. Tilbury Fort won it. Dawn Arctica just the leader. Dawn Assault. Cascapedia. Then comes Coral Fever. Coral Fever to the outside. Look at him go. Tilbury Fort is right in there. Coral Fever. Tilbury Fort. It's Tilbury Fort. Tilbury Fort won it. Prentice has ridden a ripper. 30. Gates crash back, and they're racing away. An even start for them. Nefarious with a light weight. Then comes Aldanza to the outside, but it's Nefarious in the lead. Got 2 lengths over Aldanza. Nefarious in front. Aldanza tries hard, but she's not getting closer. Nefarious has won it. Second to Aldanza. Sylvan on fire. Third, and then came... It's always a privilege to have the blue and white in the number 1 box. It's always a privilege to have the blue and white.
Here comes Street Party about to come in, $17. $22 about Lincoln Moonlight. And there's Flaunt about to come in for Glen Boss. This certainly could be a race, I think, worth following in due course. Salamence will be the last one in. 1,200 metres is the trip here. Same trip as race 1. And we're just about set. Favourite at $17. They stand set for a start. They're racing in the second. Maidens are away. Super Win a little bit sluggish away from the inside. Lincoln Moonlight going forward with Flaunt. Reading further back then to Salamence on settling down. Caribbean Lady on the inside of Mr. Coppola. As just in behind them, we've got the newcomer Forever Win. Boy Next Door, Burgundy Heights. Looking for the favourite. He's only got 3 behind Street Party, and they are Super Win, Lim's Mystery, and last of all, detached, is Golden Explorer on his debut. 24.53 the opening quarter of a mile as they head on then down the side, and they've got 6.50 left to go, and it's Flaunt in front who shares the work here with Lincoln Moonlight on the outside in the black and yellow. Boy Next Door is trapped deeper on the field there as they begin to make the swing back towards home. Looking to the back of the field, Golden Explorer is woefully outpaced, trying to work into it. Salamence, favourite with the cheek pieces on round the outside. Street Party, Forever Win next. Super Win now, he's beginning to go through his gears from Mr. Coppola. Caribbean Lady, and then Lim's Mystery. Down the straight though, Flaunt has gone on the inside. Lincoln Moonlight's taken it up clearly. Here comes Street Party now, the favourite for Hot Rod, and he just about looms up on the outside. Forever Win finishing off nicely, but it's Street Party in front, the favourite, and racing up towards the line. Big celebrations tonight. Street Party will win it from the running on Forever Win. He was an eye catcher. And back in behind them, Lincoln Moonlight, Boy Next Door, Salamence, the first 5. Then we had Super Win, Caribbean Lady, Flaunt weakened in the straight, Lim's Mystery next. And looking further back, Golden Explorer, he'll learn plenty for this experience. Burgundy Heights next, and Mr. Coppola knocked up and was last in. Well, Street Party has won it. And this horse, who is the son of Congrats out of Rodine, has now won. And Michael Roddy had the luxury of a look up at the big screen as well. This horse, who got out to $20, so you got a bit of a price in the end. You can see there the 7 running on Forever Win. He's a lovely horse going forward here. You can see he's only been beaten, what, a quarter of a length maybe, should we say? Lincoln Moonlight 3rd. Looks as if Salamence may have got up for 4th there in advance of Boy Next Door. 2.73 a photo for 4th. 1:12.16 the time. 1:12.16. Good time that. That was only a second above the class record held by First to the Line. The standard 1:12.22. So they've run below standard time. As I say, the 3-year-old Bay Australian bred gelding raced by the Green Street and Shirtlift Stables. So well done to them, both Justin and Guy. They'll be delighted with this. Not bad, this $25,000 purchase. Let's head downstairs and get the reaction of the winning trainer, James Peters.
Thanks very much, Nick. I'm joined by James Peters. James, the freshen up, it's done the trick with this horse.
Yeah, it has. He's always shown us a good level of ability. I think we half messed it up last time. He had a trial 10 days before his last run, and I think he just flattened him a little bit. He trialled very well, and I think he left his race at the trial that day. And Justin Vermark and the owners have been very good, and they've given me plenty of time to freshen him back up. We deliberately didn't trial him coming into this run. And he's won well tonight.
He certainly has. Was that his first run on the poly track, or had he had a start previously? He could be certainly, we know he's susceptible on the turf as well, but he handled the conditions out there very well tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he's by Congrats. They're all-weather horses in the States, and we knew he liked the surface. He's always trialled well on it, but he'd run well on the turf, and we were actually looking forward to getting him onto the poly track today.
Sure. Have you got any plans with him? I guess just see how he pulls up now and find another race for him?
Yeah, I think we'll give him another little break. I don't think he's a horse that's going to be racing every other week. And I think he's definitely going to get over more ground in the future. And you know, if he progressed the right way, I think he might end up being like a Guineas type of horse.
And Michael, James just said, put him away, freshen him up, let him have a bit more time, and he was quite impressive today.
Yeah, he's a really nice horse. He's always showing that, obviously, from his first start right the way through. And James has done a really good job because he just freshened him, like you said. It's a hard one to play. You know, didn't give him a trial, so you got to rely on just giving him work on its own. But he's a quality horse. I galloped him at the start of the week, and he just feels really good underneath you. And when we got to about the 1,000 metre mark and the way the race was being ran, and I was able to come 3 deep, and I knew it was going to be all over. I just had to sort of time it a little bit with him, because you had to keep in mind that he hasn't had a run for a while, and he was out at the 50, but it was just his quality that kept him going through the line.
Sure. That feel that he gives you that you talk about, what exactly is that? Is it his action? Is it his mannerism? What exactly are you feeling when you're riding him in track work and in the race?
Yeah, look, it's definitely his action. It's very springy, and he just seems to cover a lot more ground than a normal horse does, and he does it so easily. He does it with the right attitude, so he's not ripping and tearing, so he just ticks all those boxes. Mainly it's that action. He's very springy, and like I said, he covers more ground than what your normal horse would.
Well done, Michael.
Thank you, mate.
Berta recently hung up his saddle and took out his trainer's license at the beginning of the season. Fiona Ramsden catches up with Pitt to find out how he's enjoying his new career.
Pete Berta is the new trainer here at Milnerton Racecourse, and of course he's not new to the industry. He's been a successful jockey for many years, and it's lovely to be in Pete's yard this morning. Pete, thank you very much for having us this morning.
You're welcome.
Now, you've been obviously riding as a jockey for many years and successful. Would you have carried on had it not been for injury?
Yeah, I think my first choice would always be riding. I love riding. But reality, you know, we have to all, it can never last forever. We have to stop sometime.
But you've got a good grounding of stable management, ailments, you know, lamenesses and things, because you've worked closely with Glenn Puller for many years, and you worked very hard in the yard there.
Yeah, I think I've been very lucky. Glenn's one of the best horsemen around, and I learned a lot from him. I was apprenticed to him, so yeah, it's been many years that I've worked with him, and then also with Garth, his brother, as well. So, and we all know Garth is a fantastic horseman. So I think I've had the chance to learn from the best.
You've got 14 horses in, and of course you bought one at the CTS Ready to Run sale.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I looked at all the horses. I thought the horses on that sale were a lot nicer than what I was initially expecting, and I marked a few horses that I'd looked at, and I pretty much knew that they were going to go for a bit too much money, a bit out of my range. But this horse, I marked him and I said, look, I'm going to go there for one horse, this horse, because I think I maybe could get him at a reasonable price. Halfway through the day, I was getting very depressed, thinking I'm not going to get him when I was watching the prices, but I got him. I'm very lucky to get him. I like him. I think he's a really nice horse.
Yeah, seeing him this morning, he does look like a nice individual. Now, you've only been training for a very, very short period of time, and you've had the 2 winners already, your first being head of the pack, who we saw working this morning.
Yeah, actually, head of the pack, I'm lucky that he won for me, because he should have been gone. I tried to get him on to a float to Kimberley, and it never happened. And I was preparing him while waiting for the float, and the groom's race came up, and I said, look, maybe we can sneak a race here before he goes, and it worked out. So very lucky for him to have won for me, because he shouldn't have been here. And then Rockin' Ringo, same thing. I mean, he was a horse that nobody wanted. He was small, and he was an ugly little thing when he came in, and he shouldn't have been in racing. And we're actually talking about finding him a home as just a riding horse, and I loved the way he walked into the stables when he came in. Although being very small and skinny, he had a beautiful walk on him, and I asked them to please give me a chance with this horse, and they did. Barry and Ron have been great supporters and very trusting. So when I said, I like this horse, I think he could develop into something, they trusted me and they gave me the time. And again, I threw him into the race knowing that he's only about 60-70%. But I didn't want to go further than the 1,000 meters, and I wanted to get the right race for him, and I thought it was the right race for him, and he won. So very happy for him as well, because I think he's a very nice horse.
Well, coming here this morning, it's lovely to see such a nice vibe. You've got some good staff. There were some owners here having coffee earlier. Really nice vibe already.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice. In the mornings when I come here, everybody pops in for a cup of coffee. It's very busy here, so I've got a lot of people coming in for, not just my owners, from other stables and that as well. Everybody comes in, has a cup of coffee, or chat about the day before, how things went. I've got great grooms. They also come. I've given them their own little coffee section so they can come in, make their coffees, you know, just settle into the morning and then get started. And then obviously once we get started, it's go.
But what's wonderful for you is, you know, you had a great riding career and you can still hop on your horses now, get a feel for them, get the right trip, and you know your horses.
Yeah. I've always said that understanding each horse would help. And when I worked with Glenn, you know, I used to ride the work and I would come back and I would maybe give him feedback that he didn't want to hear. And I know sometimes you don't want to hear that negative feedback, but I believe it helps. It gives you something to work towards. And I will do that every morning. I'll just feel like I'm slipping the wrong way with this horse. Let me just get on and see what I feel. And I'm starting to form a nice relationship with Devon. You know, we're getting to understand each other so that he knows what I want. I know his feedback that he gets, how it corresponds with my assessment. Just try and build a nice team. The grooms know exactly what I want, so it helps me being able to ride the horses. I get my feel, I come back, I let the grooms know exactly what I want from them. Myself and Devon will discuss it, and he knows now, you know, are we on the same page or not. And I think that's the best way to actually go have success in a small stable, you know.
And chatting to you in your ring earlier, it's quite nice because you don't have a set routine. You sort of take it day by day what the horse needs work-wise.
Yeah, I obviously I plan ahead like where I would like to run the horse, but I don't have a work pattern. So we just go about how the horse is feeling today. We'll see what I want to do with him tomorrow. And I'll have a guideline as to what I want to do, but it could change. If the work is going according to plan, then we'll stick to that guideline. But I'm not, I don't have like a certain day we do this work and a certain day we do that work. I mean, my work chops and changes depending on every horse.
You're also very lucky to have the backing of your family. I believe Nicole does your books. You've got your son here this morning. It's lovely to have that backing and support.
Yeah. Nicole does all my marketing and helping and everything. She does the emailing and that to the clients and speaks to them. Aidan comes in with me when it's weekends and school holidays. He comes here. Some horses are just a little bit shy, a little bit uncertain. They're a little bit nervous, and I let Aidan know these are the horses, and he just spends a lot of time with them, giving them grass, playing with them. And I've seen those horses really like come out of their shell. They've like not so nervous anymore. Then now they'll come to you, and I like my horses to be happy. And I feel all my horses at the moment are happy, and it just helps having them on board with me.
Yeah, it's very important. I must say, it does seem like a very happy and relaxed, chilled atmosphere here this morning. Now, you've called yourself Dare to Dream. It's a fantastic name. I love your logo. Was that sort of the whole family on board choosing the name?
Yes. I think I've always lived my life to goals. I would set myself a goal and then work towards that goal. And those goals would be a dream of maybe doing that. So when we sat and we spoke about a name for the stable, I said, I want to continue on that way. You know, I'm going to dream to win the Met. I'm going to dream to win the July. I'm going to dream to win the Guineas. So maybe what we should think about is getting owners involved. Like if you're wanting to share those dreams with me, come dream those dreams with me, and together we'll try and make it a reality. So that's where the name came from, Dare to Dream.
Well, I like your way of thinking. You've got the hunger and the passion to succeed. And anyone out there that wants to get involved, you've got your website and they can get hold of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the website's not set up yet. But there is obviously my other son is doing my website for me. But there is the email address. They can just send an email, and Nicole will quickly get onto them. Also, that she has opened up a Facebook page. I'm not so clued up when it comes to Facebook and the technology and that, but she does that. So there is a Facebook page called Dare to Dream as well, which people can get onto.
Because of course we've got a really hectic time coming up because we've got the Cape season, and that is obviously followed by the Cape Premier Yearling sales. Will you hopefully be able to go to those sales and hopefully pick up a few horses? I'm hoping that you know, if the horses can do well, I've been very lucky to get off to a good start, which is great. If I can continue, hopefully people will take note and decide to maybe buy me a horse or something like that. So I will be attending the sales. At the moment I don't have any buyers, but we'll get there. I took a chance with this horse. I bought him myself, and
now hoping for people to buy in. If they do, it's great. I took a chance with all the horses I've got, and you know, luck. We all need a little bit of luck, and I'm sure I'll get it. I'm very positive, so I do believe it will come.
Well, it was lovely chatting to Pete Porter this morning and being at his new yard here at Milnerton. I think he's a trainer that's going places. He's really hungry and got the passion for horse racing, and it's a really, really great, relaxed atmosphere here at Dare to Dream.
Well, it's my pleasure to welcome back to the Breeding to Win show, Charles Pretorius, who's in fact the editor of Turf Talk. Welcome back, Charles.
Thank you, Julie. It's been a while.
It has, but you've settled in very comfortably in that chair. It's almost
Indeed.
like old times.
Almost like it, yes, it's quite.
So let's just quickly chat about Turf Talk, because obviously the last month or so they've run this competition, and it's been a very successful competition for you.
Yes, we asked readers to send in fresh email addresses, their friends, family, and the winner actually got 22. We had a lot with 10, with 15, with 12, and the winner did well, 22 fresh subscribers.
Fresh subscribers, obviously in racing, not in racing.
Most of them not in racing, some of them actually are in racing and didn't even know about Turf Talk, but that's the way it is, you've got to market all the time.
Well, a great marketing tool, and I thought the prize is fantastic as well.
Yes, a 3-night stay in Hout Bay at the Riverside Boutique Hotel, which I've actually stayed at, very nice.
Very nice.
And the flights for 2 people, so a great prize.
And also, I mean, that time of the year in Cape Town is beautiful.
Spectacular.
So I think the whole prize is worth 15,000 rand.
Just about, yeah. And if you're a racing person, that time of year also fantastic racing, isn't it?
Fantastic as well. So well done to you, Charles, because obviously that's one of the marketing tools to get Turf Talk out there. Has been successful, and the prize winner is?
The prize winner is a lady called Natasha van Wyk from Pretoria.
Nice to see a woman winning. Well done.
Yeah, well, she did
Just
the best.
Just shows you that women can push a
She
little
could
bit.
multitask, yeah.
There you go.
I think she works for BMW.
Well done. Well, that's congratulations to Natasha,
Yeah,
and
indeed.
obviously she's going to enjoy that prize very,
I'm
very
sure she
much.
would.
So now let's quickly chat about the Greenpoint Stakes coming up, because you're a racing man, and I thought next week with the Grade 2 coming up over 1,600 metres, very small field of only 10 nominations there, but boy, packed with class.
Fantastic race. 10 nominations, 6 accepted so far, including, should we say, the Big Four, Legal Eagle, Undercover Agent, Rainbow Bridge, the Pretender to the Throne, they call him, and of course Do It Again, the July winner. So it's going to be a cracking race.
Okay, so now how do we determine the winner? Or are you going to put your head on the block for us? Or
Well,
how are you going to think?
You know, I don't want to put the eyes on any horse because he's going to lose. Whatever I tips
No, sure.
Yeah, no, it won't be that bad. On paper, Legal Eagle rated 123. Will win the race
Top
again.
miler.
Great miler, going for his third Greenpoint
Yeah.
Stakes. But of course, it doesn't always work on paper. He's made a great comeback to racing 2 weeks ago in that sprint. By all indications, Sean's saying he's as good as ever, if not better. But you've got the likes of Undercover Agent, a proven 120, which makes him 3 pounds inferior, which is 1.5 lengths off. And then you've got Rainbow Bridge, who's rated 110. On paper, cannot beat Legal Eagle, but
he's improving.
Bernard Fadob reckons he's closer to 120 than to 110. And if you look at the horse like Undercover Agent, when he gradually moved up the rankings from in the 90s to the 100s, then when he won his Grade 1, he went from 111 to 120. So this could happen to Rainbow Bridge. He could be as good.
Yeah,
Cracking race. I don't think he'll be more than a length and a half in the line between the three of them.
Rainbow Bridge, they reckon, could be one of the better horses in the country at the moment.
What do you think? Well, he is obviously in the top 5 or 6. On ratings, not yet as good as the other ones, but he's only rated as good as the horses he's raced against. So he's getting his Grade 1 debut, and he could be as good. You never know. I think a lot of people would like to see Legal Eagle toppled. You know, you always like to see the new pretender coming through, and then there's another camp who'd like to see the king winning again.
Keeping his throne.
If I have to put my head on the block, I'm going to say Rainbow Bridge is going to come through and prove to be a very, very good horse and win the Green Point.
Okay. Well, I think whichever way you look at it, Shoal, it's going to be a fantastic race, a thrilling race, to have so many good top milers all together participating at one course. You don't often get that. You know, I know Cape Town probably gets the best of it, where you get the Durban, you get the Cape Townians, and you get the Raiders from Gauteng. Joburg, you kind of miss one or two of them. I mean, and I just think that for the Green Point Stakes, especially almost to kick-start their season, I think it's great.
It's going to be a magnificent season. You know, you've got all these horses going for the Cape Guineas and the Met. Some fantastic young horses around. It's going to be a spectacular Cape season.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Well, thank you very much for joining us once again.
My pleasure.
All the best with Turf Talk. I know you were saying it's going now for 3 years. I can't believe it. I mean, we just chatted. We chatted when it almost started.
Yeah, you know, we try to establish our niche. I think we have. We've grown 100% year on year, and it's now getting a bit tougher because we've got the competition from the heavyweights like Mr. Nicol elsewhere in this building and Mr. Benson down in Cape Town. But it's fun, you know, it raises the bar. We're all trying to get the good stories.
Absolutely, and I think you're doing a fantastic job for racing. So thanks very much for all the insight, for everything that you do for horse racing. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, Julie.
Thanks to Shoal Pretorius. Last week, we featured Douglas White Part 1, Hong Kong champion jockey for 13 years. Tonight, we bring you Part 2 of this consummate professional.
This program is proudly brought to you by Track and Bull Gaming. Douglas White, 13-time champion jockey of Hong Kong.
On his day, his turn of foot, honestly, you had to sit still, because if you got too active on him, you'd go off the back. That's how quick he would turn it on. He would drop 4 or 5 inches, and every jockey or person listening to me would understand that.
Ambitious Dragon down the centre part of the course. He's going after Mighty High. In between them, Viva Pataka and Irian wide out. Ambitious Dragon hits the lead from Mighty High. Clear from Viva Pataka. California Memories flashing home, but the Derby winner, Ambitious Dragon, makes it 3 Group 1s in a row.
I'm currently at the Thoroughbred Breeders Association Library, and I'm sitting in front of a beautiful sculpture of one of South Africa's most favourite racehorses ever. His name just happens to be London News. He's a son of Bush Telegraph out of the mare Soho Secret. He had a full sister called Secret Pact, who also raced with enormous distinction. But the reason that he was so famous in South Africa was because he was victorious in South Africa's most favourite race, the Rothmans July. He also won the J&B Met, and then he flew to Hong Kong, 47 hours door to door from Cape Town to Joburg to Amsterdam to Hong Kong. And with Douglas White aboard him, he won the Queen Elizabeth II Cup. It was the 13th of April, in 1997.
London News, the pride of South Africa, goes up and goes to the lead. Privilege on the inside is coming again. London News in front. Privilege won't give in. London News doing the better, and London News, he's everything they said and he wins.
It was indeed because of London News that Douglas White was so warmly received into Hong Kong. And last week on Breeding to Win, we took a look at Douglas White's first 1,000 winners in Hong Kong. He's now reached a milestone in excess of 1,800. We've got some video footage, and we've also got a fascinating interview with Douglas to tell us how he has made such a success of his career in Hong Kong, where he has been champion jockey for 13 years in a row.
Hong Kong's all about time, and time is of the essence. So track work starts at 4:45. Unlike anywhere else in the world where you can have maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour per horse, per lot, here it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes max, and the next lot's got to come out. And you're on a time schedule. Then the track closes for 20 minutes for them to harrow, and 8:30 the track's closed. So if you miss your last lot or your last two lots, they don't work today. Think about tomorrow, or send them for a swim, but they're not working today. So horses here mentally have to be tough. I think that's just part of the industry. Owners, jockeys, trainers, everybody is tough. And if you don't adapt, you ain't making it in Hong Kong.
So how tough was Viva Pataka, Ambitious Dragon? How tough was Vengeance of Rain, Silent Witness? I mean, mention a few that you've ridden.
These horses, they're freaks. They are, Vengeance of Rain, like, going to Dubai, winning there, then coming back and winning again here. 3 weeks later, the QE2, and he won the Derby. And those horses are freaks, and that's why they're freaks. And that's why they're few and far between, because if there were too many of them, we wouldn't appreciate them. I respect those horses more because I know what I've been through for 13 years trying to keep up to my own challenge. And they have the same challenge. They have more of a challenge because they have to go around the same track, go back the same stable, the same routine, 24/7, for however long it takes them for their mind to go bang. Or the trainer decides that's enough. But they don't have an option. They get told what to do. I can fly out to Phuket. I can fly to somewhere to get away for 3 or 4 days and freshen my mind. They stuck here. They don't have a choice.
At the top of your mind, there will always be those things that have helped you go from one precipice to the next precipice to keep you going through those valleys. Just give us a broad brush stroke of some of the horses and some of the occurrences that have kept Douglas White alive.
Think about it now, just talking about it, I can still vividly remember the races and what we went through and how we did it, and just special places. And then you get Ambitious Dragon. He would drop 4 or 5 inches when he accelerated, and you would have to just aim for a place, because otherwise you're going to knock somebody out the way, and when you stop his momentum, he could never pick it up again. And I remember going past Jeff Lloyd one day, and he thought he had the race won, and I came past him and I just looked at him, and we went past the line, and he went, "That's unbelievable." And that was Ambitious Dragon on his day. He was unbelievable. So these kind of horses have, they've left a real soft spot and a memorable spot in my mind, and that's what got me going and kept me going for a long time. At the moment, things in Hong Kong are really tough, and you could ask any jockey that, but I'll stick it out. I just hate throwing the towel in when things get tough. You stick around, you deal with that. But I have things at the back of my mind which I know I'm going to do, and it will be in Hong Kong, and I'm going to make a success of it. I have a plan. I'm going to fulfill that plan, and you'll see my name around for a lot longer. Just watch the space, yeah. When I retire, that's where I'll be. I'll be in Italy, making wine, looking after my horses. We've got fruit trees, we've got pretty much everything. We'll have our own self-maintained farm for friends and family to come and visit.
This program is proudly brought to you by Track and Bull Gaming. Douglas White, 13-time champion jockey of Hong Kong.
ici. La police qui va enlever l'arc de triomphe. 5e victoire dans la course pour Frankie Lettori.
Is storming home. One of the last possible gasps for the judge and Thriller.
What a finish to the Melbourne Cup. The Brave is under pressure when they turn in. It's been a relentless run, Cup. Who's going to be the last man standing?
Everett battling on through. Then Wings of Eagles. Cliffs of Moa. Wings of Eagles swooping though. And Wings of Eagles gets up to win.
His 3,000th winner.
Vodacom Durban July.
Gauteng Sansui Summer Cup.
Well, that brings tonight's show to an end. Thanks to Fiona Ramsden, Grant Knowles and the rest of the Breeding to Win team. And don't forget to join us for next week's edition of more Breeding to Win action. From myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the Breeding to Win team, good night.